multiple murders, fraud schemes, drug trafficking, and illegal firearms. The violent reign of the New Jersey bounty hunter Bloods was taken down in a sweeping federal RICO indictment after months of wiretaps, undercover operations, and a multi-agency investigation. The FBI and local law enforcement delivered a major blow to one of New Jersey's most dangerous street gangs. In this video, we'll discuss the history, rules, crimes, and RICO takedown of the New Jersey bounty hunter Bloods. But before we get into all that, I want to thank all of you who helped us with reaching our goal of 10,000 subscribers. This is just the beginning. It's the Crime Street Journal. Nickerson Gardens, Watts, Los Angeles, 1970s. What began as a street-level neighborhood crew to defend territory in one of LA's most impoverished public housing projects would evolve into one of the most feared factions of the Bloods gang alliance, the Bounty Hunter Bloods. Born amid rising racial tensions, poverty, and the void left by disbanded social movements like the Black Panther Party, the Bounty Hunter Bloods rose quickly within the power vacuum of South LA's gang landscape. Over decades, this street gang would build a reputation for brutality, loyalty, and profit, and eventually, its influence would extend far beyond the borders of California. By the early 2000s, the gang's colors, red rags, tattoos, and gang hand signs began to appear in places that once considered gang culture a distant, West Coast thing. Among those places was New Jersey. According to federal law enforcement officials and court documents reviewed by the Crime Street Journal, the Bounty Hunter Bloods began establishing a foothold in New Jersey through a familiar formula: prison recruitment, transplanted gang members, and narcotics distribution. The earliest traceable routes to New Jersey can be linked to individuals who were either relocated from Los Angeles or affiliated members who were incarcerated and began recruiting behind bars. Members of the New Jersey Bounty Hunter Bloods frequently identify with the number 115, a direct reference to 115th Street in the Nickerson Gardens housing projects of Watts, California, where the gang first took root. Their chosen colors, red and black, further link them to their West Coast counterparts and serve as a visible marker of affiliation. The gang's presence isn't limited to street corners. Social media has become a powerful tool for communication and propaganda. Members regularly post gang-related content, including photographs and videos that memorialize fallen members, mock rivals, and reinforce internal codes of loyalty and reputation. These platforms also act as informal channels for coordination with associates across state lines. Federal investigators say the Bounty Hunter Bloods began operating on the streets of Somerset, Middlesex, Passaic, and Mercer counties, using New Jersey's densely populated suburban towns and urban centers to carve out a profitable drug territory. Sets like Parkside and Somerset and the Ville in New Brunswick became local strongholds. Their operations followed a familiar gang playbook: narcotics trafficking, particularly heroin, crack cocaine, and fentanyl. The gang later started gun running. They smuggled guns from southern states where firearms are easier to purchase, then trafficked them back to New Jersey to sell illegally on the black market. The gang used violent enforcement tactics to maintain control and eliminate rivals. They focused on recruitment of juveniles and younger offenders as foot soldiers. In Somerset County, the group used public housing and abandoned properties to stash drugs and weapons. In New Brunswick, street confrontations often escalated into shootouts, some fatal. Surveillance footage and wiretaps used in federal cases later confirmed that gang meetings were sometimes held in backyards, fast food parking lots, or even over jail calls. In July 2025, members of the New Jersey Bounty Hunter Bloods were charged in a superseding indictment with RICO conspiracy, drug trafficking, and firearms offenses. The indictment charges Carl Napier, aka Smash, Jameer Wright, aka Lil Smash, Alexis Tejada, Jihad Bibbs, and Jamie Archer Monroe, aka Razik, with a racketeering conspiracy that included fraud schemes, narcotics distribution, and multiple murders. One murder in particular on March 12, 2024, in New Brunswick, New Jersey, would send the town into a panic. Earlier that evening, Smash and Lil Smash met up with Tejada, Bibbs, and Razik. Their objective was clear: confront members of a rival gang, G-Shine, also known as the Gangster Killer Bloods, a violent street crew and subset of the United Blood Nation. Tensions had been rising over an ongoing dispute tied to drug turf and narcotics distribution. What began as a heated exchange quickly spiraled out of control. According to federal authorities, Lil Smash pulled out a firearm and attempted to fire, but it was Smash who pulled the trigger, again and again. Approximately 8 rounds of a .45 caliber ammunition tore through the street. Chaos ensued. 23-year-old Numi Simmons was struck and killed. Victim 2, an unidentified man, was gravely injured. The air was thick with gunpowder and sirens. After the shooting, Smash, Lil Smash, and the others fled. They scattered into the night like shadows, not only escaping the scene, but quickly working to erase their involvement. But law enforcement was already closing in. 3 days later, on March 15th, 2024, Smash made a move that would ultimately seal his fate. He sold 2 firearms, both with defaced serial numbers, making them virtually untraceable. One of them was a .45 caliber gun, the very same weapon used to execute Numi Simmons and injure the second man. And during the sale, Smash made a damning admission: he had used the weapon in the shooting. What unfolded wasn't just a murder. It was a glimpse into a larger, ongoing criminal enterprise. The defendants, including Smash, Little Smash, Tejada, Bibbs, and Razik, are all believed to be members of a violent gang, the Bounty Hunter Bloods, responsible for drug trafficking, firearm sales, and targeted violence in and around New Brunswick. Their turf war with G-Shine was more than territorial. It was about control, profit, and fear. The Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office and the New Brunswick Police continue their investigation, but the damage has already been done. A young man, Numi Simmons, is gone. The whole time federal agents had been watching. In the months before and after the shooting, Smash had been selling drugs, moving firearms, and possessing weapons illegally, all while having prior felony convictions. One by one, investigators connected Smash to a long list of crimes that painted a dark portrait of a man deeply entrenched in gang life. He now faces 12 serious federal charges, including racketeering conspiracy (RICO) for his leadership role in the Bounty Hunter Bloods, murder and attempted murder under state law, charged federally through RICO, 3 separate drug trafficking offenses, 5 counts of illegal firearm and ammunition possession, 2 counts of firearms trafficking, 1 count of unlawful ammunition possession. The weapons included handguns with scratched-off serial numbers and even the exact gun used to kill Numi Simmons. Smash's co-defendants aren't off the hook either. Little Smash faces unlawful firearm possession and is named in the RICO conspiracy and murder. Alexis Tejada is charged with unlawful firearm possession. Razik is charged alongside Smash with firearms trafficking. Jihad Bibbs faces a separate drug trafficking charge tied to cocaine distribution. And there you have it, a look into the New Jersey chapter of the Bounty Hunter Bloods. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Drop your thoughts on this story in the comments. It's the Crime Street Journal.